Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here and welcome to the pasthisprime YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel and you're interested in relaxed, casual gaming for an older generation, then please subscribe to my channel. Like the video and click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos.
Welcome back to the Dyson Sphere Program. Okay, so just a little bit of an update. What happened? I'm back on my home planet, and you might be thinking, oh, based on the last video, how the hell did he get back? Well, there wouldn't have been a way to get back unless I had managed to build an entire massive structure. So what I did was I actually reloaded my previous save file. And then what I did was I did it properly. Okay, so I learnt from my failure of doing that, and I did it properly. So what I did was, instead of going with basically nothing, I built a heap of these hydrogen fuel rods, just manually built them. And because I could just get the hydrogen and some titanium stuff, because I had some titanium stuff already with me from somewhere. I can't remember how I got it, but I got it. So I made some of those. And that way I could take those with me and I could put them inside my mech to keep me charged and make sure I had some stock in here to fly back as well, right? You got to make sure you got some to fly back. I then took enough materials to go and do pretty much what I did before. I did a few little changes here and there, but ultimately all I did was I just set up a processing plant to do some the silicon, what's it called? The high purity silicon, because we've got silicon reserves, or what do you call them? Oh my god, the things in the ground, veins, there we go. I couldn't think what it was. So I set that up, and it's just it's manufacturing them and putting them in big storage units, okay? And same with the titanium, right? We're just churning out titanium. So I had that running for a while I set up a bit of power, and I repeated what I did here. So I started getting my diamonds being made, because that was no big deal, right? So I recreated that. So I just loaded the save file just to do it properly, but it was not a massive change. I've put a storage unit here because I brought back a whole heap of titanium ingots from the other planet. So it's now just sitting there making these and storing them, right? It'll fill up and just stop at some point. And we can go back there, fly back and forwards and get more. Now we might have to do that one, maybe 2 times, but the ultimate goal will be that we'll actually set up a proper interplanet transportation system. All right. So that was the major stuff there that I did. Now, also offline, what I did was I've been researching some other people's YouTube videos, see what other people do and that sort of stuff, just to get some ideas. I don't want to directly copy everybody, but when they got some good ideas, obviously I'll take some inspiration from that. And one thing I did get sick of, and was that I was handcrafting all of this stuff here. So what I did was I set up a big processing plant here, which is creating and storing all of the common things that we use a lot of. Okay, so I'll just show you what I've sort of done. Okay, so I've got a manufacturing iron over here. We've got the magnets coming out, we've got the ingots coming out, we've got some gears being manufactured. They're all then feeding down these paths, and then we've got these being made into magnetic coils, right, which we're adding in copper from over here. So we're smelting copper. We're also making the, what do you call these things? Circuit boards. All right, so we're making all the fundamental parts to be able to make all of these units here. And then we've got assemblers all along here and storage units all along here. Now the first one is not necessarily a critical item, but I added that afterwards. Right, so we're making these, what are they called? Electric motors. But that's purely because that way I can make these, which is the more advanced sorters, and I'm storing those now. Now I'm not filling up the boxes, I'm just making a fair bit, because that's a lot, right? When you think about constructing things, that is a lot. So we're making belts, we're making normal sorters, which then feed into here to make the advanced ones. We're making Teslas, we're making assemblers, and I will migrate these to be making the Mark II assemblers soon when we get to that point. We're making smelters, miners, wind turbines, what do you call those? Splitters, are they? Oh, get back in there. Why can't I get it back in there now? Oh, it's bloody 1 unit. Yeah, splitters and storage boxes as well. So we're making storage boxes. As you can see, I'm not filling them. I'm just making a fair bit. Now, as soon as I take stuff out, so if I ever want any of these, I can just grab them, take them out, put them in my inventory, and it allows me to go off and make things, and that'll just fill straight back up to that same point. So I've got a constant supply of these. I don't need to be making them. And as I said, we will slowly over time start improving these to go to the next versions up, and then what we'll do is we'll start actually replacing all of these components through the entire planet with the more advanced models if we can, to make things more efficient. Right, so that's what I did. So that was off video a fair bit, and obviously I went back to the other planet and did that other part properly. Now we've got some stone coming in there as well to be able to do some of the stuff. Okay, so other than that, nothing else majorly changed, except what I did was, because what I want to do and what I'm planning on doing in this video, where did I put my charger now? I still get lost on my own planet. Yeah, I'm lost. Where is my... Where's my damn storage stuff? There it is. Where did I drop that charger? There's the charger. Okay, I'll just stand here. I'm also manufacturing... Sorry, that was the other one I added. I'm also manufacturing foundation. Because I got sick of making foundations. So I can grab tons and tons of foundations, right? They're just churning out so that we can concrete the entire planet if we so choose to at some point. Right, and I will be planning on flattening underneath because it gives us soil, and I think it's going to look better. It looks a bit funny with all these things built on grass and that sort of stuff. It just doesn't really make a ton of sense physically. It's not what you would do in the real world. Okay, but what I want to do, and this is going to improve all the planets, including this one, is I want to first start with, my next step is going to be getting the interplanet sort of transport. And this is going to clean up, hopefully I can redesign this and clean up a lot of this conveyor belts and spaghetti that's going all over the bloomin' world. All right, and we're going to do that with these. Planetary Logistics Station. Now, what I have done off camera is I have made enough of the components to make 2 of these and some drones. Okay? Now I had to manually make these components and these and that. My plan is to automate it, or automate at least the components, these processors and that sort of stuff. And I'm thinking I might rethink some of this storage, right? We're storing a lot of raw material, and it probably is a bit stupid when really the raw material is only useful to create stuff. So we might keep stuff here, but we won't necessarily be so much storing it. It's going to be more of a, we're going to make the raw materials there, and then we're going to send it through the planet to somewhere else where we're going to process things. So with these planetary things, the great thing is that we can get rid of a lot of these long conveyor belts, and we can start to spread stuff around the planet, and we can build particular items in isolation in various locations. So that is my plan for this video, right? I've got other stuff that I want to do later. I want to do the solar flares, and we need to research to do the interplanet one, because we want to get drones going between planets as well, so that we can start getting that titanium back and all that sort of stuff, but that's a bit later. So first off, we're going to use these two that then we're then going to use to be able to make, hopefully, all the components to allow us to make more of these, so that we can put them more around the planet. Now, you can see we need titanium ingots. That's why I brought a heap back, and that's why we are going to get more, so we can keep making these, and then we need to get that interplanetary one so that we can keep making these. Right, so I've made two in the background just so that we can concentrate on the actual purpose of this and the function of it. Now, where I want to put them, that is a damn good question, because what we want to do is make the components to make these. So we need to make these. So we need to get stuff from here. Now, we might not be able to get all the stuff over, unfortunately. Not straight away. We might need to add more, because I can't remember. I think they're limited to 3 items in and out. So we'll have to work out how we're going to sort of structure that. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of tweaking, but we need to find a place first. All right, so I guess, where do I want to build something? Okay, that's an oil spot. I mean, we could build something here, maybe? You know what I wish they'd do? I wish they could allow you to put a marker, and then you could just go back to the planet and fly to it. That'd be a really good feature. Because when you're down here, it's almost impossible to work out where you were just talking about. I've got a feeling it might have been here. I think it was, or was it more there? Where am I now? Yeah, I'm here. Okay, so it might have been more here. That's fine. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with our foundations here. Now, it takes a lot of foundations to flatten something out. Absolutely tons of foundations. Good thing is, if you want to be pedantic, you can make them really square. I'm going to run out. We got tons more that we can get. Yeah, we're not going to get that spot. Okay. We can obviously fly back and grab another 1,000. That's no big deal. Just gotta remember where I stored them. Right over here. Grab that charger. Okay, let's just grab 1,000 of those. Okay, so not sure how big I want this anyway. I just want to finish that one square off because that's going to annoy me. I did go over the line a bit here, but you know, who cares? It's not about colouring in the line. Right, now, let's chuck a thing down. No, that's not how we do it. Why am I trying to build one? Transportation, here we go. So, we can put one of these units here. We are going to need power. Let's just put it there so we can have a look at this gorgeous looking thing.
Logistics Station. You have taken the first step to establish the interplanetary logistics transportation network. Provided the place of logistics station of the raw material is set to supply, the logistic drones will transport cargo to elsewhere with a demand on the planet automatically. Never forget to put the logistic drones in the logistics station, either the supply or the demand side. The logistic drones will only work for the transportation station they belong to.
Yeah, okay. So you can see here we've got a symbol for drones, so we need to put some drones in. Okay, now we have enough drones. I think it's a maximum of 20. Oh, no. Okay, you can put tons in. All right. I thought there was a limit. Now, how do you... Oh, that's right. No. Okay, so if I right click, I'm just going to put an even number. I'm going to go with 20 because I've made, I made 41. And my plan is that we'll put 20 in the other one as well. I don't exactly know, but if you've got 20 going one way, you get 20 going the other. Now, obviously, this is when you're talking about 2. Once you start putting them all over the planet, these drones can be flying everywhere. They can be going from this one to another one to another one to another one to another one, and just be flying around like mad. Okay, so then what you need to do is allocate what you want to get or in here. And the good thing about this is that, can I get out of that? Yes, I can. It also acts as a storage unit, so you can actually just use it to store if you so want. Now, we need obviously to get some power up here. So, let's do that. Alright, so we've got some Teslas. How do we want to take it? Doesn't really matter. We'll just take it this way. Now, we could be using the ones that charge because they're actually a greater distance. Like, they can be really far out. And they work really well as sort of like remote poles, and then they're charging everywhere. I haven't got much of those, but we might think about replacing them at some point. Teslas are just so easy to build though. And we've got that process automated already. Okay, and can we... No, we can't get it. Okay, and then lucky last. I'm going to sort of tuck it in the corner so we're not in the way of any paths. If we can avoid it. Okay, so it is powered up, right? So it's charging now. I assume it keeps the drones charged as well. Right. So we need to think about what parts we want to automate over here. Now, if we look at the drones, there's circuit boards and these thrusters. So drones need circuit boards and thrusters and what do you call it? Iron ingots, right? So we're already making iron ingots. That's fine. What we want to do is, now I don't know if we're going to automate making the actual drones at this stage, because it could be something that's pretty easy. Like it's something that we don't do that often, that maybe we just manufacture them manually. I don't know. But then again, if we can do it, why not? The thrusters, that it's pretty easy to manufacture. It's just steel and copper ingots, which we could do in the other location. This one, circuit boards are more advanced. We need the boards and we need those. Now we have to decide, what do we want to make here and what do we want to get here? Because you can see here we've got 3 slots. Now, these can be supply or demand. They can't really be both. So I'm just wondering, maybe I should have actually moved. Maybe I should put one. I'm just thinking for future, not now. I'm wondering if we put one over here. So this would be like our input, and then eventually we'll put another one over here, which might be output. So that might be supplying what we're making over here to other parts of the planet. Okay, so we need the power again. Actually, can we remove that one? Because will it reach if I do that? Yes, it will. Alright, so let's assume at this stage we're just going to bring things into this. Okay, so what are we going to make? If I want to make a circuit board, a processor, we need a circuit board. We're already making those. So does it make sense to make them again? Or do we just send them? And then we need these, which we don't have the supplies for those. So, well, that's the thing, isn't it? We could... we could actually send through this system the iron, copper, and the silicon ingots and make all of these here. But then does that help us for our thrusters? That one's steel. Okay, it depends if we're making the drones here, isn't it? We just wouldn't have the thrusters, so that would be a downside. So the other option is we make those somewhere else. We make those somewhere else, over in our storage area. We send these 2 parts over here, and then all we do is make these. So that would be 1, 2. We could send the thrusters to us. That would be 3. And then we can make the drones. So we could be making the drones and these over here. Then what do we need for this? That needs titanium. So that would be that. The titanium's over there. Then we need a setup for making these. Okay, so we're probably going to need another one of these. I think so. I think we're going to need another in. Okay. It's all about trying to streamline things, because we could just take all the raw materials, but then we're going to need lots of things over here making them, aren't we? Now, we could adjust that later, but let's assume we're going to make that and that over in the other spot, and we're just going to make these circuit boards. sort of seems stupid though, doesn't it? Because they need the iron. Alright, let's focus on one thing at a time, Jesus. Okay, so have we got enough inputs to make these? From scratch. So we need iron, copper, silicon, copper, and that would make that. Okay, so let's just do that. So that is 3 items, right? We can do that. Then we'll just have to manually make more of these, and then we can add more inputs, right? Yeah, and we'll have to make more outputs at the other side. The other alternative is that we just manufacture some stuff over here. We've got copper here. We could manufacture copper. That would save us an import. Why don't we do that? We've got copper here. It's not too far away. Yeah, alright, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to expand my foundations. And you can even put it under your copper here. Okay, but you can see how much foundations we use. I brought 1,000 over. I've already used 700 just to do that. I'm going to get rid of that line because that's going to annoy me. I know it is. Sorry, I'm just going to be so anal about it. It's just, I can't help myself. Alright, so let's get in here and let's get this done. Alright, we need to get this moving or we're not going to get anything done. Alright, let's turn this around here because I think we can get a good stockpile there. I'm not sure how much we really want to make, but we could probably make a fair bit. Nope. Hang on. Let's turn you there. That'll get us 4. Alright, now let's get some power. Try and sort of go on a straight line, I think, would be nice. As much as I can. Planet's not exactly straight, it is round. Okay, that'll cover those two. And then I'll put that there. Okay, so let's get some of these out. And we'll feed that. Just trying to work out how we're going to do this. Oh, that's a nasty curve. We're in a spot here where we get this really weird position. Not really a fan of that, but it's the way the planet's shaped, unfortunately. I'm not sure where we're going to feed out yet. Let's just put that there, and then this one. Let's just say that's going there. And we'll feed that there. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're trying to make copper. Is that the thrusters? Yeah. Okay, so the thrusters are copper. Okay, so that helps us with both of those. So we need to smelt. We have... We probably don't have enough, do we? Not enough to go there. Alright. That's going to be too long for a start, but anyway. Let's get some smelting units going here. So if we put... I don't know how much copper we're going to need, but... let's just put a fair bit. So we got 3... how are we going to do this? Because we've got to get an output. Now let's start with this one here. So if we go 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. It's going to be a lot, isn't it? So we need more power. Oh, that's really annoying. It missed it by a little bit. Actually, I'll just put it there. And put the other one. Go there for now. Alright, so the recipe is going to be copper ingots. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to paste, 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 paste. Alright, now we need an output. So this is where our output's going to go. So I'm not sure where we're going to take it yet. Let's just get it to there for the moment. So we could join up to there. Okay, we're too close to that. We can't really... we have to join it to there. There's nothing else we can do there. Hopefully that's going to be okay. We might move one of these down here, maybe. Actually, I might do that. Let's shift-click that. That's a copy function. That way we've sort of got 3 on this side, 3 on this side. Cut that back because we don't need it. Alright, let's go with the fast ones. Take them out. Okay, I would have liked that in the middle, but... let's do that again. Okay, I'm not going to put the input in yet, just until I work this out. So I'm gonna that back because it doesn't need to go that far. It needs to go to there. That'll be copper. Copy. Alright, paste, paste. Now we could copy one there. Not sure it's the best layout, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, so that'll be 6. We'll see what happens, eh? Okay, and then what's going to happen is we're going to have an output. I think this one here will just take the output from there. Ah, could we not get it closer? Why is that? I don't know, that's weird. Okay, whatever. Alright, so this is going to be our output. It's still whinging about power over here now. That'll stop you whinging about power. Okay, so if we then take our outputs, run it along here. I'm not sure where I'm going to feed it yet, but let's just assume that we're going to run these two side by side. Okay, now, what's our next step? Let's concentrate on these. Right, so we're going to have copper. And we're going to have... So both of these need copper. You know, I'm thinking we should have built closer to the copper because it seems silly to build all the way over here when the whole point was to save space. So let's assume these 2 rows here need to be empty and we're going to build our manufacturing over here somewhere. Right. So let's feed copper into what? We're going to need some assemblers. I'll have to go with Mark 1s. I don't have Mark 2s. Just think about the layout here. I'm trying to work it out. So let's say we have this unit somewhere over here. This is going to feed into here. Actually, you could have almost just put the assembler straight on here. Because what are we assembling? What do we want to assemble first? Let's say we're going to assemble these, right? So it's going to be silicon. It needs something from here. and the copper. And then you need to output. Alright, so let's say this run here is for the silicon. I don't know where the drones are going to be yet. Alright, let's cut that short. Let's shift copy that for a moment. Just put one here. Let's get rid of that. Alright, let's shift copy that. So let's say we put one there. Get rid of that. Shift copy. Okay, let's say we go 4. So let's imagine we throw this into there. I mean, we probably could have fed directly from the smelter straight into it, but let's just do it this way. Okay, then we need an input from this thing. And then an output. So, we're going to get rid of all that. We're going to end up fixing up our foundations here, I think. So we're going to take an input. It's going to go here. We need to be charging ourselves. Let's just put a couple around here just so we can walk around a bit. What was it doing? Here we go. Okay, so you got in there, in there, in there, in there. Then what I'm going to do is we'll go from here. We'll just run it there for the moment. So that will actually be our out. Okay, so that's our silicon sort of done. So when we've got the silicon, that's the first component for that, so it's going to go to there. Our second component is this, and that has got to go to there as well. So we sort of have to see how this copper works out, but we could probably join them all together in the end somewhere along the line. They might be able to feed each other constantly. But if we take this, let's say we go up there. Alright, let's run that there. So that's going to be an in. Oh, did I already join that up? Oh no, that's fine. That's fine, don't panic. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Okay. So now what are we making here? So if we now take that's not going to work because we need an input here. Okay, that's not going to work. The only way that would work is if I take that over. Damn. Hang on, that's the raw material. What are you doing? Yeah. We didn't want the raw material going there. That's got to go into the smelter. What we want is that output. Okay. So how do we do that with this input? So that's got to go in from here. So we really need to take this belt over the top. Yeah, okay. This is getting a little bit confusing at the moment. I'm confusing myself. But if we go over, we just want to go over that. I know what we can do. Let's go over that and then we come back down because it takes so long to come down. No, that's way too long to come down. Oh. Damn. Okay, let's just extend this a little bit so I can see. Oh, it's not going to be a straight line either. So annoying. Ah, there you go. Okay. So if we sort of like take that, let's just go to there. Oh. I'm not the best at the designing these. I'll have to apologize on that straight up. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. So let's just assume we need 4. And what are we making here? So we've got silicon boards. Now we want to make these. Yep. So let's copy that. Let's paste, paste, paste. Now this is not, I haven't worked out any ratios. So before anybody says, oh, you haven't worked out ratios. To be honest with you, I can't be bothered. I just build them and I just see what looks good. And whether it's functioning, if it's not, I enhance it. If I can, you know, whatever. I know it's not the smartest way to do things, but it's the way it is. Okay, so that should get that into there. And then we're going to need another input because this is going to need the silicon. And that's going to come from our thing again, right? So we're going to say it's coming from... where do we go? About there. Yeah, that'll do. All right, so that's an input as well. What? Didn't know what was happening there. Right, and then we're going to have another output. Oh, we're running out of belts. I'm going to have to get some more belts. We probably could go from there, couldn't we? Damn it, lack of item. Okay, what do we need? We need some belts and some foundation. Let's go and get some. If I can find where I am. Here we go. Oh, well, here's the foundation. Let's grab 1,000 of that. And then over to where are you? Over there. And grab some belts. 200 might do us. Let's fly back. These things always take me longer to make than I think they're going to. Oh, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Isn't it beautiful? Alright, let's get that belt going again. So we're going to be coming sort of out that way. So take it from there. Okay, let's trim these up a bit. Not you. Because we don't need that far. Don't need that far. I think that works. Okay, so do we want to prove this point works? That's the first step. Let's get this bit going. And we can see what's happening. Okay, so start feeding into the smelters. Why does that look so weird? Don't know. Okay, it'll start churning out. Okay, I did notice one problem. I haven't put any outputs. So we've got outputs on that, I don't have them on this. Okay, so that's good. That track there is a little bit long, didn't need to be that long. Okay, we need more power. Alright, where can we squeeze some power in? Who's whinging about power? You are. Can we... I don't know if that's going to cover it all. No, there's still something missing over here. Just one more there, and that'll do it. Okay. So these are all now got the copper. And these are all got copper. Okay, now, because I have basically changed this entire design, I'm going to be moving things again. Let's just focus on this spot first. I'll do this spot just for the sake of doing it. Alright, now the reason I moved that was because I am now going to, unfortunately, pull this down. May as well get rid of that. Could probably get rid of that one for now. Right. Because we're going to put this back here. Now let me have a look. So we've got 2 inputs here. And what's the third input going to be? Not sure. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly planned out, but we may as well put it there. Alright, so that's not what I wanted. Hang on, what is it? Oh, right click. Is that 20? That's 20. Okay. Now, these things here need a lot of power. So they sort of need the power right on them. So I'm going to pull that one down. I'm going to basically put it. Now, here's the problem I've got. That's throwing my things off, and that's not going to stay, so I need to be sure. Okay, but we need to join it to there. Okay. That's fine. These two probably could have moved technically, but they're fine where they are at the moment. Right, so you are charging. Okay, so what we need is what do we need? Silicon and iron. And that would get that first component going. So I am going to fly over here, and we may improve what we do over this spot at some point in time. Right now, don't really have a great system because silicon and iron are nowhere near each other. So eventually when we have multiple of those things, we might take them out of 2 different things. But right now, what I want to do is just get something in place. Don't think I want it near the power. That's the only thing. Then if I put it over there, it's going to be stupid. That's going to fill up too much water. I mean, we could put it here. Why don't we just put it here for now, and we can always move these things later. Hang on. Let's put some foundations here. Okay, now that's up high, isn't it? That's the other thing. I'd like to improve these boxes because the out coming out the top and the in on the bottom, it's not efficient. It doesn't work the way I originally thought it might. Alright, let's get that power built. Kidding, you don't have power. How can you say you don't have power? Doesn't make sense. You do now. Okay, so where's our drones? Here they are. I want to take 20. And we'll put them in there. Alright. So now what we do is we do this magical thing here. And we basically take, say, this here. Are we on the ground? We are. And we take that. And we feed it in. So we'll take a double slot out. Bang. Now it should start filling up. Well, it's taking it. But where is it? That is iron, is it? I did put iron in. Yeah, it's iron. Iron ingots. Okay. Okay, so, and we can set a maximum level. So if we don't want to fill this up entirely, because we don't want to take the entire stock, we can just pick a maximum value. So let's just say 2000. See, this is what I mean by it can be storage. Right, so maybe we don't want to take all of this supply. You know, maybe even 2000 is too much. You know, maybe we just, let's start at 1000. We can always change it. Right, and this is set to supply, right? So we can actually change it from, well, we could also set it to storage, but we can set it to supply or demand. Now, if we're supplying, that means that drones will take from here and supply it to somebody else. Supply it to someone that is demanding it. So in this case here, we are supplying. So that's what we want to do. So we're slowly filling up our inventory there. I mean, it could go faster, but you know what? It's good enough. And then the other one we want to do is obviously get this silicon over here. I don't know how we're going to get that over. Is that an in or an out? And what is that feeding? That is feeding a machine over here that is making us, what do you call it? Solar panels. Oh, I did forget to say I did set up a little quick rough solar panel build here that I wanted because I took some solar panels to the other planet as well. And I want to get more solar panels on this planet. Okay, so that's churning out there. I need to get silicon. This is where it gets really tricky though, because we don't get much silicon in, do we? I don't know where we get that from, but that probably needs to improve. This whole layout needs to improve. It is just not... It's not the way I want it. Okay, let's do this. Let's cut that. Let's cut that. So that is definitely an out. Okay, so let's actually go from here to there to there. Let's put that back in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that to there. Alright, I need to somehow work this out. We need to go up there. We can't get around that power thing there. Damn. Okay, let's go back down. Can't see. That's not going down, is it? Okay, sometimes these paths are a little bit tricky. No, that's too long. Let's take that back. At least one. Okay. How do I get that thing out of the way? Can't get past the power there. Can if I do that. But that would mean changing this. Sorry. I just have to change you for a minute because I need you. You go back one. Okay, probably didn't need to go back that far, but whatever. Okay, now let's get back over here and put that thing on. Whoops. Over here. Put one of these on. Okay, so silicon starts coming out. Goes a really stupid path and should get in here. Okay, so now we're going to set this to these. We'll definitely drop that down to 1,000. That's going to be set to supply. Beautiful. Let's fly over. Now the magic begins. Now what we do is we go iron, demand. Just demand 1,000. And we'll pick silicon and we'll go demand. Set 1,000. Now, if we look up, look at the lovely drones. And you can see now, if we look, they got a little symbol on them. They're now carrying our stuff. So we should start seeing stuff coming in. So they somehow already took 1,000 in one shot? Wow. That's very fast delivery. And the other drones must have flown over to grab the silicon. And they'll come back, or are they grabbing more iron? Okay, somewhere along the lines, we're going to get some silicon. I don't know why we're only grabbing iron at the moment. Hopefully we'll get some soon. Alright, so we'll let that settle for a minute, just to see what happens. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere, we'll find out. Now, first off, this one wanted the iron. Okay, so what we probably need to do is we probably need to filter. I don't know how you... Oh, there we go. Okay, so we want iron, so we'll filter that. Go there and then feed into that. Actually, I probably could have taken it out the side. Yeah, stop. Stop. Let's do that again. Because I don't think it matters where you take it out. It's really just filtering. Because I'm assuming I could probably take 2 paths out to take the same item. Well, I'm hoping I can. Because... oh no, that needed silicon. That's fine. Okay, see, there's silicons coming in now. You see they drop all the way down there, dump the stuff in, and then fly off and grab more. So, it's looking good. Can we get rid of some of that? Yep. So that's now stopped because we basically, boom, we've made our allocation. And now we can take the silicon out from here. Don't know if it really matters where we take it from. I didn't filter that. Hang on. That's probably why it's confused. Tabbed silicon. Okay, silicon now comes out. And now in theory, we should start seeing that item being made. Beautiful. So that is working as expected. We have silica boards and the other ones, whatever they are. Can't remember. So then we have to set up this process. Okay, so now we're going to make these and we'll probably just store them for now until I work out what we're going to do. Because we need to make another step after that. Alright, so let me just check how long we've been. Oh, okay. We've been going for a while here. So we might have to sort of stop there, but you can see the process. I'd like to finish this off, but you can see we've hit our limit of that. Obviously silicon's going in a bit slower into the other side, probably. Transport range of drones, minimum load, maximum charge. Yeah, seems to be working all good from what I can tell. Don't know if it's the most efficient setup. Alright, now we need to put an assembly. Let me zoom out a bit here. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be pushing this stuff back out as well to other locations. So you can see the concept here that if I had another one, or, you know, even if we only took 2, like if I could now feed the manufactured stuff back into here and actually set it to supply, and then other stations can request the item here that I am supplying, so we can send stuff to here and send stuff out. So you don't have to have one doing one or the other. You can break it up to do different things. It can do in and out, but you've only got 3 slots, obviously. So if I'm going to use all 3 slots, I might take all 3 in and I might take 3 out on the other one. I don't know yet. That's going to be a bit of a trial and error. Now, what I do want to do right now is work out how I'm going to set up the other part. So that is going to assemble. I just want to work out how I want to lay this out, because they need both of those outputs. And then we output from there to somewhere. So that is pretty simple. Now the question is, do we sort of... Do we lay it this way? We could. That could work. Let's get rid of that so we can get that out of the way. So let's go... Hang on, what I want to get is I'm going to get one to go on this side. Alright, let's start with one first. Alright, so we're going to do that. Now, I'm just going to turn this because I'm going to chop that back to there. You are then going to go, say, around like that. Oh, okay, that's not close enough. We can take that closer. Like, right there. We could do that. Okay, and then this one. We can take that like that. I just want to prove it works before I get carried away. Okay, we need power. We might just slip power there. Now, before I do that, let's do a shift click of this and put it in its spot. And see if we can get the power in there. Yep, we can. Okay, so it's making them. Okay, and then we need an output and somewhere to store it, I guess. How about, I'm just gonna do 4 at the moment. We can adjust it later. If we find we need more, then we'll do more. Okay, let's get the inputs all going. Okay, and now we need to do output. So we might sort of go like this for now, and then I'm just gonna dump there, and just for now I'm just gonna store. Just go with 2 boxes at the moment, just until I work out the next step. Or we could just wait. Is there a lot of stuff that's going to need that? Let's have a look. What uses those? We've got to find out. Nothing in here uses them. So we got the drones do. fractioners do? Okay, we need them if we want to do that. And these need them. Lots of them. Oh, they do too. And there'll be more as we unlock things. But that one there would be handy. So at some point in time, we may put an output here. One of those interplanet things. And we can send that over to that other, my little section there where I'm making these. And we can send these parts over to there. Which would be really nice. But for now, let's just get this out. So that way, we can at least manually make things by just grabbing them. Ah, power again. Always with the power. Okay, we'll just tuck a power. Tuck it there. Beautiful. Right, so we've got our first sort of process here going by using our planetary logistics station, which is nice. Okay, so the silicon is the slowest thing coming in, but that's fine. We've probably taken all our silicon from the other side. These machines are very slow. We could have sped them up. Probably if we put Mark IIs there, we could get them a bit faster, but it's just the speed they take. That's fine. To be honest, right now we don't need that much because we don't know what we're doing. Alright, so I'm going to call it there, and I may offline finish this process off, and then we can look at enhancing stuff. It's unfortunately, this is sort of one of those games where it's probably not really beneficial to put everything in video because there's a lot of stuff that's just, you know, time-consuming tweaking and adjusting things. You know, even this could probably be fine-tuned to some point. You know, it's still a little bit spaghetti-ish, but it's nowhere near as much spaghetti as some of the other sections I've got. It does look a lot neater with the way I've done it. I like this layout. And these things are gonna be a real lifesaver. Yeah, there's really nothing. There's no parts falling short here. Everything is. These things are the slowest. They're the things slowing these down too. No, not really. They're keeping up. I thought these were slow, which they are, but they're still faster than these. So these don't need to be any faster to cater for that. That's fine. I mean, we've already got 200. What can you complain about? That's tons. Alright, yeah, as I said, I'm going to call it there, and I will work on this in the background and get my... not necessarily get this being built, but get all the components built for this, and all the components built for the drones. And then I'll work out if I'm going to automate them even further. May not. It might be just a matter of let's just build them manually because it's not something we need to build constantly. Love the shadow there, drones coming over, bringing the materials. So good. Can't wait till we get the interplanet one. That's going to be really good. What we need to do for that though is we're going to have to. It's here, interstellar logistics system. We need yellow blocks. The problem is to automate yellow blocks, we need tons of titanium. So it's sort of like you need this to automate this. So what we might have to do is try and get enough materials to manually make enough of these to complete this research. And then we could later talk about setting up the automation for the yellow structure matrix. But there's lots of that stuff to do there. So we'll get there. We will get there. It just takes time. All right, catch you in the next one.
Alright, well hopefully that was enjoyable. Please remember, if you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel, click the like button, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Go and check out some of my other videos here that are linked on the side. And I thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.